bingo. Here we go. It's time for Clubhouse Chatter. Here are the guys, Tony Torquato and Norm Ordez.
And that was Brian Erickson, the producer. And hey, guys, welcome back for the final show on a rainy Sunday morning. The doves are crying here in outside of Amity. Once again, Prince dead at the age of 57. Our next guest is Ken Wilson of the Portland Pickles, a brand new baseball club out of Portland, and they will be playing out there in Walker Stadium. And Ken, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing really well. How you fellas doing?
I'm doing pretty good. So so the Portland Pickles. So where did the idea of this new baseball team playing out of Portland, where did this come from?
Well, you know, it comes from a need for some affordable family entertainment on the east side of Portland.
Absolutely.
And a need for some baseball. You know, I don't think there's any question. Once the Portland Beavers left town, which was extremely unfortunate, it opened up an entire area, you know, really West Portland, East Portland, Vancouver, looking for baseball. And at the time, I was president of the West Coast League, a summer collegiate wood bat league, and, you know, we were in places like Longview and Corvallis and Walla Walla and Wenatchee. And in that job, I was always looking at Portland to see, you know, what opportunities there would be for a summer college wood bat league, which is, you know, operated like a minor league. And once the Yakima Bears moved to Hillsboro, became the Hops, it left Vancouver open and left the east side of Portland open. And as it turned out, I ended up with some other fellas in a new league known as the Great West League, which has Lodi, California, Sacramento, Marysville, California, Chico, and Medford. And we decided, well, look at that entire east side of Portland. Let's put a team there. We were lucky enough to look at Walker Stadium and say, hey, that's right in the middle of about 500,000 or 600,000 people who find it difficult to drive over to Hillsboro, who love baseball, but more importantly, love to have a good time on a summer night in a situation that's affordable. So that's how it all came about. It's been really, we started, it's hard to believe, but we started 3 years ago, and here we are down to not too many weeks until the first game.
So here are the Pickles. So then, now, how did you get the nickname the Pickles? Did you, was it a contest?
We did. We had a contest with the Portland Tribune and online on our website, which, by the way, is portlandpicklesbaseball.com, which has all sorts of information for people, portlandpicklesbaseball.com. We took a legal pad, and we put together about 5 or 6 pages of potential nicknames. Then we went around and talked to teenagers, we talked to seniors, we talked to moms with families, and got a list down to about a dozen nicknames. Then we went and talked to them again and got down to the 6 favorite names. And actually, it got down to the 5 favorite names, and at the last minute I said, well, maybe we ought to have 6. And I went back, looked at the list, and said, I'm going to take the craziest name off those nicknames we didn't select for the final selection. And for some reason, I thought Pickles was the craziest one. So I added Pickles to the list of 5 we had. That gave us 6. Away we went with the contest. The first day, there was a lot of publicity about the 6 names on KGW Channel 8. They had a story, and the anchor at the end of the story said, Pickles, I love pickles. Now, we don't know if she was saying she loved to eat pickles or she loved the nickname Pickles, but when the early voting started online, Pickles was the runaway selection in the lead, and in the end, after 3 or 4 weeks, Pickles was the name that the public selected. So here we are, the Portland Pickles.
So I don't know, have you done any research on like pickles in the Portland area? Because I know Steinfeld Pickles is a world-renowned brand that's from the Portland area, and so actually the pickle has an actual history in the city of Portland.
Yeah, it's not like people don't eat pickles, and it's not like pickles haven't been produced and manufactured and sold out of Portland. So there are a couple of companies, and we've talked to them, and so, you know, it's not as strange as it seems. And in a world where in affiliated ball, they have the Montgomery Biscuits.
Yeah.
They have the Lansing Lucknuts. And they've had, even since we selected the Portland Pickles, there have been some even stranger
The Yard Goats.
nicknames. The Yard Goats in Hartford,
Yep.
and the new Savannah team, the Savannah Bananas. So if people think the Portland Pickles is crazy, what about the Savannah Bananas?
I think it fits. I like it. You know, it's different.
I think people like it.
I think so too. You know, you also hear the naysayers, but I think there are more people that, from what I hear, that, hey, are interested, you know. And so pickle baseball, Portland, I've been around here for 20 plus years, and Portland is a baseball town. And there was a huge void left when the Beavers left. And, the Portland Pickles, it's a start, and I don't know what is the answer for the city of Portland. If minor league baseball will come back, but hey, you got the Portland Pickles now, plus then you got the Gresham Grey Wolves over there in Gresham, and so tell us a little bit more about the league that the Pickles will be playing in.
Well, the league's very competitive. It's a league that takes the top college players. I mean, if you look at our club, we've got players from UCLA, Long Beach State, Cal State Fullerton. We've got 6 University of Oregon Ducks, a player from Hawaii, Cal Poly Pomona. We've got a couple players from Tulane. We have a pitcher from the University of Houston. So the baseball is really top notch, and the league operates just like a minor league, just like the Cal League, a Class A league, or the Northwest League. We operate that way, and we think with the Pickles, we're going to have the greatest entertainment that anybody's seen in a ballpark, and that's what it's all about. It's about entertainment. It's about great food and beverage, and by the way, we got great baseball too. So we're going to be putting on quite a show, with our mascot Dylan. And we've got a lot of events planned that'll, take place between innings. We think that our show, our entertainment package, is going to be the best in Portland, and people, when they come out, are going to be pretty surprised at all the fun and excitement and the music and everything that's going to be going on. And I think one of the advantages, guys, that we have is we've got a small, cozy little ballpark. The capacity is going to be about 1,500 or so. So, it's not like there should be a lot of empty seats, and it's going to be very intimate. We have very little foul territory. We designed the renovation of the field and the stadium that way, so people are right on top of the action. So I just think that we're going to have and taking the little old ballpark and fixing it up, it's almost like small town, old time baseball, and I think that people are really going to like the atmosphere. And the ticket prices are great, and concession prices are low. So I mean, it's going to be something that everybody can take part in.
Now, it's been a while since I've seen the stadium, so let's talk a little bit about Walker Stadium. You chatted a little bit about it. It is a cozy little ballpark. It's got, it kind of reminds me of old-time Americana, of having the old ballparks in the neighborhoods, in your larger cities. And when was Walker Stadium built, and what have you guys done to it?
Well, it was built, there seems to be an argument of what year, but it was in the 1950s.
Right.
So it's been around. I think the location is one of the great assets. It's nice that it's in a residential area, but it's at a pretty major intersection at Southeast Holgate and Southeast 92nd. And the great thing now is you walk out of the ballpark, you walk across the street, you're only 5 minutes away from the Max line stop at Holgate. So you can come to the games taking the Max from anywhere in the metropolitan area. And we're just west of Interstate 205, right between the Powell and Foster exits. So it's really a case, if you come by car or you come by Max, you just kind of get off and you're at the ballpark, and you can get right back on the Max or right back on the interstate and head for home. And the other beauty of it is we've had a lot of folks tell us, I'm going to ride my bike to the game. Because if you're living even down in Woodstock and areas like that, it's, real close to the ballpark. So we think a lot of people are going to either walk to the park or take rides in on their bikes. And the other thing is there's a lot of people say, well, what about parking? And if we're in the corner of Lentz Park, and if you look at the parking lots in the park and just the parking along the street adjacent to the park, not even across the street, okay, but right attached to the park and the MAX station, you've got 362 spots, which will accommodate over 1,000 fans. And again, our capacity is about 1,500. So that doesn't even include parking in the adjacent neighborhoods, just as they do at Wrigley Field or Fenway Park. And the great thing is the parking is going to be free. All the parking is free. And, you know, the games are, we've changed our starting time to 7:05. And, you know, in this town, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night is still daylight.
Right.
So it's almost going to feel like you're going to a day game. Games will be over at 9:15, 9:30. It'll still be light. So it's going to be an interesting atmosphere, and I think people are going to appreciate the location because I think it's just an absolutely sensational location. And the ballpark has had 800 seats in it, bleachers with backs, which are pretty darn comfortable. And what we've done is we moved home plate out to create some more area for seating. We moved home plate out, shortened the fences. It's 309 down one line, 311 down another line, with a short 3-foot fence in right field and left field, which makes for exciting catches against the fence where you can just reach over as an outfielder. The other thing is we're going to have a 16-foot high wall from right center out to left center, which will be interesting because it's a little challenging in terms of the distance in center field is not that deep. So we're going to have almost a green monster in the outfield. And then what we're doing is, we're putting in 2 new dugouts. And between the dugouts, we have our field boxes, which are going to be real comfortable, almost like garden chairs with little tables next to them for people. And we've sold a lot of those already. And then above that will be the refurbished 800 bleachers with backs. So we end up with almost 1,000 seats there. And then what we're doing is by the dugouts, we've created a couple of dugout dens, which is an area of tables and chairs for groups of 20. Then we have down the third base line, we have a tented area, party area, event area, group event area, with tables and chairs for 40 people. And then from there down to the left field foul pole, we built a grass berm, which are $6. You can come sit. You can bring your chair from home. You can bring your blanket and sit on the grass berm. Then out in left field, behind that 3-foot high fence I mentioned, we've got an area for 60 people, a group events area of picnic tables. Same thing out in right field. And down the first base line, we have 2 significant and large tents that will, with tables and chairs, each seat 100. So we have 500 chairs with tables for group events, and we're doing pretty well in getting groups interested in coming out to the game. So it's going to be interesting, and nobody's very far from the field. We think with the 500 seats that have tables with it, it makes it a real comfortable situation for groups to come out, you know, have a group picnic, a church outing, maybe a bachelorette party, or Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, baseball teams come out just to have a season-ending party, or just an event. So we have a lot of options, a lot of opportunities, and things are going well. And, you know, we just urge people to take part because it is baseball. And the thing we like to say is this team belongs to Portland. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to anybody else. It belongs to the people of Portland. We're putting a lot of money into renovating the stadium. We've got a lot of companies, unions who are making donations to help fix this up, which is greatly appreciated because we've made the renovation of the park a community project, and people have stepped up and done a great thing because it's all about the people. And the people built the ballpark. All the citizens of Portland built the ballpark. They're helping renovate it. So the ballpark belongs to the people. And so does the team. The team belongs to the people. We're sort of helping out and guiding it. And our goal is to make sure we earn the business, earn the respect of the citizens of Portland and Vancouver and Oregon City and Clackamas and Gresham. That, you know, we do such a great job. We earn their respect. We earn their business. And they know it's a quality product at an affordable price in a newly renovated stadium. It all belongs to the people. And I'm just so excited. I think it's just going to be terrific.
I'm excited. You got kind of the old ballpark feel, and it's in the neighborhood, and that's pretty cool. And to actually have, baseball being played there, and like I said, the talent that you guys have. I mean, it's on the up and up. I mean, both leagues. The West Coast League has got great talent, and as does the new league. Have you guys set your promotional schedule yet?
As a matter of fact, I've been working on that this morning. We have a ton of promotions. We haven't announced any of them yet. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go right to it here because I might as well since you asked. But we have, on Tuesdays, we've got $2 Tuesdays presented by Bi-Mart. And on $2 Tuesdays, I better look to be sure before I say something that isn't true, but $2 Tuesdays are $2 hot dogs, $2 sodas, and that's always a big event. People get a real bargain for the Tuesday, so that's exciting. Also, Thursdays I know are. I'm going to just want to make sure I get it for you here. But also, here we go. So it's Thursdays are Thirsty Thursdays, where beer, soda, and water is only $2.
Nice.
Tuesday, the Bi-Mart $2 Tuesdays is beer, soda, water, and hot dogs only $2.
Whoa.
We're going to have a social media night on Wednesdays where there's special discounts available for folks who follow us on social media. Mondays are Markdown Mondays, special discounts on food and Pickles gear, T-shirts, hats, and that sort of thing. Lots of Fridays. We're going to have entertainment acts, some superhero acts, and a number of fireworks events also. So I know we have fireworks we're actually having two openers. We're having one on Friday, June 10th, the Grand Slam opening night with fireworks, magnetic schedules. The next night, Saturday, June 11th, perfect game opening night, fireworks, magnetic schedules again. Also, I failed to mention Sundays is kids' night. Kids eat free on Sundays. So
nice.
we've got something different every night. We've got some promotional events coming up. We have Adventist Health Cap Night on June 24th. July 4th, we have A1 Automotive Cowbell Night. That's a night when we have fireworks. July 29th, Adventist Health Youth T-Shirt Night. July 30th, Northside Ford Dillon Bobblehead Night. Dillon's our mascot, who's absolutely terrific. So we got a lot of things coming up. We've announced our best 5 games package, which for $60 you get a ticket, a pavilion seat for 5 games, and in all 5 games you eat for free, which is a pretty good deal for $12 a game, $60 for the 5-game package. And we've got another package called Friends and Family Nights, which we're going to be introducing pretty soon. So, we're trying to make it easy. We're trying to make it convenient. We're trying to make it very, very affordable for the folks because, our goal is to fill the ballpark every night. The more people, the more fun, right?
Oh, absolutely. And what kind of concessions are we going to be looking at? Are we going to be looking at the standard fare, or are you guys going to have like a special specific to Portland Pickles?
Well, I can tell you that when you're starting out with something like this, you can't get too extravagant. So I wouldn't suggest if you're looking for if you're looking for a steak dish and you're looking for sushi, we probably won't have it.
Right.
But I can guarantee you, when it comes, we've got Zenners, hot dogs and brats and sausages, great hamburgers.
They put out a quality product, absolutely.
Yeah,
Beer.
we're trying to be very local. We're talking to some folks about bringing in a Mexican food cart. We're talking about bringing in a barbecue food cart. We're looking at some folks with Hawaiian shave ice to bring it in. We've got about 10 craft beers that'll be on draft. We'll have 14 taps, maybe 16. And so we're going to have 3 different areas. On the first base side, there's an existing concession stand. Upstairs, on the pavilion level, we're putting in a party plaza, a wood deck. And we have a new press box going in, and below that's a concession stand. And then on the third base side, kind of on our concourse or plaza, We're going to have a tented concession stand with the grill and the smoke rising and all the great goodies there and a great selection of beers. So, when it comes to having something cold and having great things to eat, I think fans are going to be really appreciative. And with 3 concession areas for 1,500 people, we should have very short lines and be able to get the food to the people and get those cold drinks to the people. Coca-Cola has partnered with us. They're absolutely terrific, really doing a lot of things with us, helping promote the pickles. Point Blank Distributing in town distributes a lot of craft beers. They've come on as a major sponsor. Double Mountain is going to be in the ballpark from out in Hood River. Laurelwood, with their great beer, is going to be one of our major sponsors. Of course, we'll have Bud Light. We'll have Whitmer. So we're going to be Portland. We're going to be family oriented. We're affordable, and my gosh, it's just the idea is just to have a great night at the ballpark, and hopefully we'll have a summer of great weather that'll make it even more enjoyable.
You know what Walker Stadium, Walker Stadium reminds me of? Recreation Park in Visalia. Mm-hmm. Remember how, it was small, fairly small, about 2,000 people, but it sat in that neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Great stadium.
You had houses around, you had like a little mini mart.
Very family oriented.
Yeah.
Like that.
It is just small and quaint, and it's not your typical ballpark that's, kind of out off of I-5 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited. And whatever we can do to help you out, let me know. And we would love to be a part of this. Brian and I were talking about opening night, and we're looking at taking the show on the road, and so we would love to have you come back on and be a part of something like this. And so once again, Mr. Ken Wilson of the Portland Pickles. Go ahead.
You guys you're always welcome at the ballpark, and we always appreciate you talking up the Pickles, because one of the tasks when you're in a major market like Portland, and you're not the Trailblazers or the Timbers, is getting the word out. People go, gee, I didn't really hear it. So getting the word out is really essential. Once the people get there, they're going to love it and come back. But the big chore is, getting as many people as possible to be aware that sitting right there conveniently in the middle of the east side is Walker Stadium, and that's where the Portland Pickles put on a great show. So, guys, I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome. Brian, what do you think? Walker Stadium is what, maybe 45 minutes from us?
Just under 45 minutes, it looks like, so it'll be perfect.
So not too bad. So you definitely will see us up there, and I'll be chatting with you a little bit more and seeing how we can help you guys out.
Anytime, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks you, Ken. All right, Ken Wilson of the Portland Pickles. Man, I'm kind of excited, looking at Walker Stadium and listening to him. Mm-hmm. It does. It reminds me of Visalia's Recreation Park, where, when before the Rawhide, when the Oaks were there, it was a small and quaint, stadium. And it was in the neighborhood. I remember one game, we had to wait to play for a couple of hours because there was a SWAT team raiding a house across the street. I don't know if anything crazy like that happened when you played there.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple things, but Visalia.
Yeah. You remember it had the clubhouse was in a modular.
Oh, yeah.
And if you had
Visalia Oaks.
If you had a tall player, I'm thinking 6'8", he kind of had to kink his neck a little bit because it was a short ceiling.
Oh, yeah. Visalia, man, that was a shit box too.
At the time, absolutely. And they've remodeled it a lot. And so for those of you who haven't seen Recreation Park in Visalia, it sits on the main bleachers sit on 2 mounds of dirt that have been concreted over. Mm-hmm. And so back in the day when I can't remember what highway it was, when they cut the highway through Visalia, that's where they took the dirt and they just stacked it up and they concreted it over, asphalted it over, and then they put up 2 bleachers, the bleachers. And what it reminds me, the mounds, what they remind me of is out there in Umatilla, Brian, as you're going along, 84, you see the mounds over there at the Umatilla Chemical Depot, you know, off to the left, you know, as you're headed towards Idaho. And that's what the mounds reminded me of. And when we played there in 06, it like you know, Tony said, it was a hole. You know, now it's a little bit different. They've done some remodeling and stuff, but yeah, it was not a very homely place.
That's part of the process, man.
Yes.
Playing at those parks.
But, you know.
But it was, you know, it's baseball, so it's fun.
Kirby Puckett played there. I mean, you know, Mike Schmidt. I mean, the names just go on. And when we were there, Eva, I call him Eva, Longoria, was one of the main dudes.
Have you ever been to Woodland, California?
I haven't.
You ever been to Clark Field? That's a classic stadium, man. It's nice too.
Yeah.
That's where Woodland High plays. Legion. A lot of people played there. Dusty Baker played there.
Yeah, this is what Walker Stadium kind of sounds like.
But Clark Field, I like it.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that there has been no professional baseball team there, like an independent league.
Right.
I think an independent league would be great in Woodland.
How big is Woodland?
60,000.
Okay.
But I think it's grown a little bit, maybe a little more. I don't know. But it'd be great for an independent league, pro team there. A stadium, you know, it's nice. It'd be a good independent league.
Right.
I think somebody should do that.
All right, Tony.
Get in the league.
As a ball player, minor or major league, what was the craziest thing you had ever seen?
On the field or off?
Either or.
Oh, I'm trying to think back, man.
So the Cal League is notorious for the baseball honeys. And I know Lancaster, you know, we had like a team meeting before, and people had came in and warned us about certain girls. And
yeah, I was gonna say I can't say the craziest thing. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to say it on here.
Well, I heard one time that you know, a buddy of mine was telling me a story of where was it at? It was in San Bernardino. Bernie, the mascot Bernie, was caught because Bernie was a girl.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, what? One of the players?
One of the San Jose Giant players was caught having sex with Bernie in the dugout bathroom.
No way. Wow. Yeah. I mean, the stuff like that. Yeah, stuff like that goes on, man. I never did that. Well, not during the game. Come on.
I've heard stories of managers being caught, you know, being caught out on the field and stuff like that. I mean, it's crazy. It's fun, you know. And you look back and you just shake your heads at some of the stories that you hear, and you know, guys just being guys. And
well, hey, you know, you only live once.
You know, one of my favorite stories is our bus driver. His name was Andy, and great guy, but we wore him out all season long. Played pranks on him all season long. We're in Lake Elsinore. At the Lake Elsinore, was it the Casino and Spa? Do you remember that hotel there? Did you guys stay there? I think you probably did. Yeah. And so, I became friends with the mascot. Thunder is a dog, and then they had this little rabbit, Jackpot. And so I had talked to him about playing a prank on Andy, on our bus driver, and Andy, I mean, they were all for it. So like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, they come to the team hotel, they knock on Andy's door. Well, Andy, you know, he's asleep. He answers the door, and they pretty much tarred and feathered him. So water followed by talc, baby powder. And so we were kind of standing around from the corner, you know, kind of watching it. And, you know, and of course, yeah, he has no idea what happened. It just happened. And so we have breakfast every morning. And we got together for breakfast that morning, and he looked a little worn out, a little tired. And so we asked him, oh, man, you'd never believe, you know, what had happened if I told you. Well, try us. And he told us the story, you know, and of course is like, oh yeah, you were in the bar, you know, drinking, you had too much to drink. That would never happen. It happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Baseball though, but you gotta be careful though too, because they got the haters, man.
Oh man.
The team's got their little tattletales too.
Oh yeah, they do. They do.
And I found that out, man. And I don't like that.
No.
Because they do the same shit.
Yeah. I remember we had a kid, Jonathan Valverde, and he was the younger brother of Jose Valverde. And he came to us in Lancaster, and so we started pranking him. He was an ass. Nobody liked him. And so we started pranking him. And, we did the typical, eye black in the hat, the Bengay under the sleeves, things like that. Well, we froze his laundry loop. And so for those of you who don't know, minor league, I think they do this in major league, but players have laundry loops. And so they have their number on them, and they have like a little string thing for their socks. They put their sanitary socks on, and then they put their shirt, their pants, their jockstrap, whatever on.
All of it.
And then they wash it. And then once it's dry, we hang it back up in their locker. Well, a couple of the players froze it. We froze it. We put it in a little Tupperware of water, and we froze it overnight. We ended up busting ride down to Lake Elsinore, and it was an ice cube. And I remember getting called into Brett Butler's office and kind of got in trouble for pranking him because he went crying to the manager. Yeah. And pranks is a part of the game.
It is. But I've been, not me personally, but I know situations where we've all went out and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
And the tattletale would tell the coach the next day, this guy got drunk all night, but he really didn't. They would just say that to start some drama. They have those guys in the system. Yeah,
absolutely.
So you got to be a little careful on that.
Absolutely.
I got Lyndon one time. I didn't even tell him either.
Yeah.
It was in AAA. Yeah. But I went to the store and got this itching powder, or I think I got it at the store that has all the pranks. One of those little stores. I got the itching powder, and his little loop was on his locker with his shorts, so I dumped it all in there. And then he puts it on. He didn't even know. He puts it on, and then he's walking around. He's just itching his crack and stuff. Man, I was sitting there laughing at it. I didn't even tell him either. I told him now.
The stuff that goes on in the clubhouse is hilarious. There are so many stories that you cannot tell.
You see them itching, laughing.
Yeah.
That's funny.
All right. Hey, I'm Norm.
Are these lazy asses
Tony,
up yet?
Everybody's up now, Tony. It is almost noon.
Well, I hope so.
So 11:30. So I'm up, you're up, Brian's up. That's all that matters. We are Clubhouse Chatter, and we are sponsored by baseballisms.com. Hey, if you like my hat, curing childhood cancer, you can find it on baseballisms.com. Also sponsored by baseballdudes.com. To be the best, you must train like the best. Chris Gazelle up there in Vancouver, Washington. And by Base by Pros, building an athlete sports education. Mitch Canham over there in Clinton, Iowa, as a skipper for the Clinton Lumber Kings and the Mariners organization. His dad, Mark Canham, MDM Designs, does our shirts for Clubhouse Chatter. So if you'd like to purchase one, hey, shoot me an email at normbo18@gmail.com and I can hook you up. We also stream live at yamhilltoday.com every Sunday. And once again, if you'd like to sponsor the show, shoot me an email at normbo18@gmail.com. We are on Twitter, Clubhouse Chatter 1T, Facebook, YouTube, iTunes, MLB.com, blogs. Man, hey, it's sunny out there. The doves have stopped crying.
The sun came out.
So
Sweet.
That's Brian Erickson, the one and only Tony Torquato, and I'm Norm. And hey, we'll be back next week. Everybody have a good week.
Thanks.